Hello there, Dr. Boss. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why you should consider doing a podcast or starting a YouTube channel. And if you're a doctor that already have a podcast, even a YouTube channel, you want to up level, well, we have just the thing for you. I'm Dr. Ann Trump.
I'm Dr. Mike Boring.
We're talking about Dr. Podfest, drpodfest.com. It's actually going to happen in January 15th of 2026, but it's going to be lasting for 4 days. And let me tell you what that is. Start out with a story and what it is, because this is the first time we're doing it. Mike and I are having an actual live event in Orlando, Florida. What could be better? Orlando, Florida in January. Bring the kids, bring yourself, start something new for January. And let me tell you a story, the backstory of how this all started. So I attended a podcast event about 2 years ago. It's called Podfest Expo. And it's the largest podcasting event in the world where podcasters gather all over the world for this summit. And at that time, I was launching my podcast and I wanted to know how I can make money on the podcast. I was able to do it on my YouTube channel, but I couldn't do it on my podcast. And I wanted to learn how. So I went to this event thinking, well, I'm just gonna learn everything I can. But little did I know, by just attending this event and networking, and not only do I know how to better make money for my podcast and my YouTube channel, and I didn't even know that this event is also for YouTubers as well. I just thought it was just for podcasters, but it's not. It's for YouTubers. But the things that I've learned and the connection I've learned is that I'm able to now have culminated some brand deals from meeting from people from that event. And because of being that event, I get to know the founder, Chris Kremetzos, and he actually asked me, because he wanted to do something that is specialized for different type of profession. When I went 2 years ago, they had a dentist Podfest event as part of the whole Podfest Expo event. So it's time to think of a micro conference within a bigger conference. So they had the dentist there. And I thought that was a fascinating idea. So then Chris, the founder, asked me, oh, Ann, what do you think about doing something for doctors for Podfest? And I said, you're on. I love that idea. But it all started because I came there not really expecting anything, just being there to learn. And so last year, Chris asked me to do the Dr. Podfest event. And I said yes. And I corral Mike into it as well and helping me with this event. And I think it's going to be the first ever doctor podcast and YouTube event ever. And this is our first inaugural year. And we're excited to launch it out for doctors and for a way for you to consider doing online and spreading out of your clinic to give you more opportunity to be able to monetize and let with your medical skills and do something besides just seeing patient in the clinic. So the same way I did was that I went online as a way for me to make money outside from the clinic during COVID. And first I went to YouTube, and that's how it developed to what we're doing here and be able to give me being online, I'm able to get 18 sources of other income online. So let's talk about Dr. Podfest and why doctors should go. And Mike, what are your thoughts? I know you haven't gone yet, and I've been the one that I only gone there 2 years. And this will be the third year I'm part of it, but now I'm also part of the organizers as well. And we're just so excited to launch this event for you all.
Yeah, I think this is going to be amazing. What you've been telling me about Podcast Expo, and actually carving out just a day just for our fellow colleagues, our fellow physicians. If you are a physician podcaster already, this is a no-brainer. You need to be here because there's enough of us now that I think it's great to actually meet and get to know each other and share ideas and joint venture and come up with some amazing services to help our fellow colleagues out there. I know you guys are on the grinding, so I'd love to be able to actually meet you in person, share a meal, and just to talk and share your journeys and your experiences. So I think that's a no-brainer. Now, if you're a physician who wants to start a podcast or wants to become an influencer, again, I think it's a no-brainer because anytime that I go to an event and I look at the trajectory of like my entrepreneurial career and endeavors, it's generally started because I've gone to an event. I know since COVID, we're used to Zoom calls and Google Meets, and it's a lot convenient for other doctors. But I don't think anything can replace actually meeting people in person, getting to know them on a deeper level. And all of my trajectory of my career has been changed. It's because I went to an event. And I think the only time I did it was with you, where we met online. But anytime I've had like partners and such, it's all because I've had a live connection, belly to belly, so to speak, sharing them like common interests and seeing, hey, maybe we can work together, or meeting vendors and meeting new friends and acquaintances and colleagues on there. So I think the networking is going to be unparalleled to what you've experienced before. And what's great is it's just one day out of a multi-day event. So I don't know if you want to talk about the one day first. Let's just talk about that and the agenda, what you have to bring, because you've got some amazing things lined up.
So the agenda is going to be stellar. People pay thousands of dollars just to hear some of the speakers that will be there to speak. So one of our main stage speaker is Perry Belcher. He is your coach and my coach. And
Mhm. He is my
he's
colleague.
literally, how would you call him? I mean, the godfather of digital marketing. He's
Ye-
been in digital marketing for at least 20 years when the internet existed. And he's been in a lot of businesses and is regarded one of the key leaders in online marketing and sales. And he was originally a copywriter. So he's also a friend and my coach, and has gracefully accepted my invitation to speak at this event. So I'm so delighted to have him as part of our lineup. And then we'll also have a speaker that is part of the Podfest Expo event speak as Wendy, and she's going to talk about how you can launch podcast within 30 days with low tech skills. And we'll also have a marketer that's going to talk about marketing your podcast and to get eyeballs and ears on what you're doing. Now, remember, your podcast is an extension of your voice. It's a way for you to share your message, and it can impact millions of people. So the agenda of the marketer, and then we'll also have sponsors that are it's a medical distributor that equipment and devices for stem cells. And then we're talking to one right now that is a tax consultant that will help doctors know how to manage our tax better. And be smart about it. And the lineup will be, of course, Mike and I, but we'll play a small role. For me, is really offering the best value for the attendee, and if to motivate doctors that want to start a podcast to do it, because there's no reason why you can't do it, or even a YouTube channel, and then helping those that already have a podcast or YouTube channel to level up and to be able to start making money from your podcast or your YouTube channel. And so we have a stellar lineup speakers. And for me, it's really more collaborative. I want everyone to be part of this event, and we want to make it interactive with just attendees and the speakers, as well as social. So we have a sponsor that is going to do evening event with social evening event, and also a lunch event as well too. And having said that, Mike and I have gone to other non-medical events, and I don't know if doctor, you're listening to this, have you gone to a medical event? But sometimes when you go to a medical event, you never know where things will lead you. When I was at Podfest Expo 2 years ago, I happened to sit down for a snack, and the person I sat down next to was a VP over at ClickBank, who then we started having conversations. And now 2 years later, we now are collaborating on a launch of a supplement line along with a course line that we're going to launch to the world. That will be a big brand deal for me at this time. But I came to Podfest Expo 2 years ago not expecting anything, and was just accept to learn. And here I am in the midst of a brand deal and the launch of a supplement line. So I'm very excited about it. I want a doctor to know that sometimes just being there and the people in the room is going to open doors for you, is going to lead you to your next deal or collaboration, or even just connection or introduction that's going to lead you down the path that you didn't know existed. But if you ask me, Mike, like 2 years ago, that if I'm going to be doing a live event, I would say no way, I wouldn't want to do that because I haven't done that before. And here I am talking about a live event. that is going to be in January in Orlando. So, but I think that no event like this has ever been held. And so Mike and we're excited to launch our inaugural event and more event to follow. But what this is important is that it's an event geared for doctors wanting to get online, but it's also part of 4-day event. So our event is on January 15th, but it's part of the bigger event called Podfest Expo. So you can go to podfestexpo.com. And there they have a 4-day event filled with lineup from 8 o'clock to like 6 o'clock that is for podcasters and YouTubers all over the world. Last year when I went, I get to meet podcasters that have millions of downloads, YouTubers that have millions of followers that I was able to connect with and collaborate with, even being on their show. But what it is that you have really two events. So your ticket not only cover the Dr. Podfest event, but it's also covering the whole 4-day event of Podfest Expo, where you learn everything about podcasting and being YouTube and even marketing. There's a lot of marketing. And if you're a podcaster, doctor, and if you want to be on other shows, several companies there that does that they do, podcast scheduling for you. There's also other software that does that as well. But you get to find all of that there. So this microphone that I have, I bought that at Podfest Expo at a show price. So you can literally come there and buy all the equipment that you need to start your podcast or YouTube channel. And so it's really two conferences. One day of Dr. Podfest, part of the 4-day Podfest Expo event, and that you can be there for 4 days or as many days as you want. But hey, you're in Orlando in January. Bring the kids, bring the wife, spend a whole week in Orlando.
Or the husband.
Or a husband, that's right. Or a husband like myself. I actually plan to be there for 3 weeks because I have other event afterward that I'll be a speaker of as well. But regardless, is Orlando. So just, you can use your CME allowance. You can write it off as part of a business expense. And so let's talk about why doctors should go. Mike, what are the reason why they need to attend this?
Well, one, I think the education, getting the support to learn from people who've already been there and done that. So expanding your knowledge base. Two, the networking. So meeting like-minded colleagues, meeting other people who are doing what you want to do or have done what you want to do, for collaboration, for inspiration, for just connections, and then getting access to their network as well, if they so choose to share that with you, and then being part of a larger audience. I think with the Podfest Expo, getting to see people outside the physician community. A lot of times with doctors, we just tend to go to conferences where it's all doctors. My business has changed when I went to other events that weren't the majority were doctors, like in AI and like yourself in doing podcasting and marketing and business and wealth building. So just getting exposure to even a bigger network on there. And as you mentioned, you got vendors there that you'll get to meet them. And if you're as serious about going into this, you need to learn about different equipment, software that can accelerate your business, and just sharing like the latest, what's the latest and greatest of what's going on in this industry, and to have fun. That's what, at least, is we went into this because we like doing this kind of stuff. We love creation. We love getting to meet new people through our podcasts, sharing the secrets and broadening our world outside of our clinical duties, which makes life so enriching, for myself and for yourself. And last but not least, make more money, right? So make more money through the ventures and doing things that you want to do, and finally getting paid what you deserve. And that's what being involved in these type of collaborations and experiences has allowed us both to do. And we want to have others to do the same.
Well, I actually want to elaborate on your journey as a podcaster. You've been a podcaster for a long time. How does you being in podcast and being a physician and seeing patient, how has podcast changed your business?
It is, my current one, Bootstrap MD, 300 plus episodes on this. Started as pre-COVID, and I can't even quantify how much it's actually changed. It was basically, for myself, it was just giving myself a voice. And part of it was I wanted to be able to meet other people who were doing this. There wasn't a lot of people back then in 2017 or 2018, whenever I started this on there. But it's allowed me to, like, oh, hey, I go and they say, you know what? I've heard you on your podcast. That's how we met, is because you listened to my podcast. I've had similar situations where I meet people going to events and, hey, you're on I'm listening to you on my treadmill or driving in my car, and you said something. They'll tell me like, oh, when you said this one thing back, this really changed my life. And that was really, I take that to heart. It's just like, wow. And I don't even remember what I said. It was just maybe some small thing, but I realized even like small things can make a big difference to other people. And so it's allowed me to connect with audiences in a granular, in a very personal way, because I talk about lots of different things. I've talked about, not only my journey, I've talked about all the failures I've done. I've talked about difficult subject, from legal issues to passing of my father. So I share all of this on my podcast, and for some people, it's really resonated, and it's built an audience where it's just so funny. I just do this call, and then thousands of people have downloaded it, and I don't really, know. I'm just talking into a microphone and sharing with some. And so this will be my first time going to a podcast event. So I'm really looking forward to this. So I can't imagine how it can grow even further. And what's interesting to me, Ann, is that you said you didn't even have a podcast and you went to Podcast Expo. So I want to know
Yeah.
what compelled you to go to this when you didn't even have a podcast at the time.
Because well, at that time, yeah, no, I did not have one. It's because I figured, well, if I want to start up one, I gotta be around people that knows how to do it. So I want to do it right. I want to be able to get some background on how to do this. So for me, that's my mentality, is that if I'm gonna do something, I want to surround myself and be with the people that already doing it, so it can shortcut my progress. It can that way help me avoid mistakes and even waste time as well. So that I've learned from post COVID, because I've never had a coach before. And when I signed up with a coach with Russell Brunson first in 2020, it taught me, oh, if I have somebody that's been there, done that, that's about 3 steps ahead of me, they're gonna guide me in the right direction. So that had been the attitude that I have carried over in everything I do now going forward, is that if I don't know it, I'm gonna find somebody that knows how to do it, and I'm gonna pay to have rapid progress and pay to save me time and avoid errors. So that's why I was there. But thank God I was there, because literally the month later, I launched my podcast like that, and I never looked back. But I am not an editor. I am the least techy person you can talk to. But I am a creator. I can create content, but if you ask me how to edit an audio or even post it on a podcast platform or even post it on YouTube, I have no idea. I don't know what button to push at all. All I know was that I pay for somebody to set that up for me, and I have somebody that edit it, and that's it. And so I'm very good at this and getting in front of the mic and talking about content and delivering the content. But you can always outsource out, the tech part. You can't outsource out the information in your head, because the information in your head is worth millions of dollars. And I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars because of the knowledge that we have between our ears. But you need doctors. I always feels like a moral obligation. It's like, it's as physicians, we help patients, but it's also an obligation that you should share your knowledge that you have accumulated over the years and here with the world through your voice and podcasting or on YouTube. You don't like to show your face, then do podcast. If you like video, then do video. You can do both like we do now. But I almost feel that the gold mine that we have in our brain should be shared, because it impacts millions of people. Like my current YouTube channel and podcast now have, I think I looked the last 30 days, we had like 3 million downloads and views. What that means is these are millions of people listening to your voice, your video, and the impact that you're making. If you're seeing a patient in the office, you're not going to be able to see millions of people within like a 30 days. And you just don't know whether what you say will help somebody, that will actually change their life. And I get many, many comments on YouTube and say, hey, I follow what your advice. Now I'm feeling so much better. Thank you. That was just one thing. So as doctors, don't hold all your knowledge up here. Share it with the world, and it's not as hard as you think. It's all it is just knowing the script that you can say, and just sharing what you would teach your patient in the office every day. But For me, because I actually know about you, Mike, during COVID. When during COVID, during shutdown, you have a lot of time, and I was doing a lot of walks. I was walking 3, 5 miles a day, and I turn on my headset, and you were in my ears, and I'm like, "Oh, Bootstrap MD. Okay, this is interesting." So that's how I knew you before you even knew me. But you probably heard about me through probably podcasting as well too, or within the community because I'm out there. And if you're not out there, people are not going to find you. And Mike is a perfect example on how we are now partners because I listen to him and we're probably in the same communities and he's reached out to me and here we are. So you never know what is going to lead you once you get in front of a microphone, doctors, because all sorts of doors will open for you. Because the things I'm doing now, I would have never imagined I will be doing in 2021 at this point. So, having said that, take inspiration from Mike, who's done podcasting since what, 2018, 19, you said?
I can't even remember. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you did it before COVID
Yeah.
because I think you were the only one interviewing a lot of doctors then. It was just amazing. Mike was there when all of us were staying at home doing nothing. And so we want to encourage you to check out. So go to Dr. Podfest, PODFEST.com to check out the event. If not, just come there, be open minded and talk to us, connect with us. We love to see you. Just take a leap of faith and do something different. And you never know where that is going to lead you. And in fact, I attend more non medical conferences now than I do medical conference because I feel that the value of that. And so we'll be talking more about this and we'll be interviewing guests as well too. So any last minute thought, Mike?
No, and I know we can't reveal. I think, we're actually planning like a mystery guest speaker as well. Nothing is officially lined up, so I know you've got that in your back pocket as well. So the agenda isn't set, so we would love to have you drop us a line if you're coming and or you're interested. Even if you're interested in come, drop us a line, and we can be happy to share you the benefits from. Check out the website. Hopefully, it aligns with what you want to do, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Yep. We'll see you in Orlando in January, doctor. See you in the next episode.
And remember, you're not just a doctor; you're a doctor boss.
That's right.